Hi sir, good day. I am Warren Santillan from BSE2C. This is my output on AS201 poster making about climate change. In this poster, as you can see, there are two sides. There are two sides. The side with a healthy environment and the side with unhealthy environment. Or shall we say, it is affected by climate change. We can say that climate change can destroy our earth just like this. The surrounding this color, it's like a heat or very hot temperatures, and this is caused by a factory, or it may be caused because the trees are being cut down. And another factor of the climate change, there is the seawater. Seawater is very low due to the very hot condition or very high temperature. As you can see here, it's the ocean that is very drought, and there's a fish that is dead. And but the other side, it has a healthy environment which is not affected by climate change. As you can see, they live in a harmony. But in this image, in this side, it is very destroyed. Uh, as you can see, in this image, it's like the climate change affecting our ecosystem. So, how does the climate change affect our ecosystem? So, to be precise, climate is an important environmental influence on ecosystem. Changing climate affects an ecosystem in variety of ways. For instance, warming may force species to migrate to higher latitude or higher elevation where temperatures are more conducive to their survival. Similarly, as the sea level rises, saltwater intrusion into the freshwater system may force some key species to relocate, die, thus removing predators or prey that are critical in the existing food chain. Climate change not only affects ecosystem and species directly, it also interacts with other human stressors such as development. Although some stressors cause only minor impact when acting alone, their cumulative impact may lead to dramatically ecological changes. For instance, climate change may exacerbate the stress that land development places on fragile coastal areas. Additionally, recently logged forested area may become vulnerable to erosion if climate change leads to increase in heavy rainstorms. For example, in this image, there's a very few trees. If there's a few trees, there might be a soil erosion or a landslide that will happen due to the climate change. The climate change, for example, a very heavy rainfall will happen, and if there's not enough trees and the trees are die, there might be a landslide that can cause a damage to area. More frequent, an intense drought storm, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting the glaciers, and warming oceans can directly harm animals, destroy the places they live, and wreak havoc on people's livelihood and communities. As climate change worsens, dangerous weather events are becoming more frequent or severe. Just like what's happening now in our countries, there's a big typhoon that destroy the products of our farmers. It's because of the climate change. Sometimes they say June is the month for rain, but right now because of the climate change, there's a change in the climate. It becomes so heat. Sometimes June is not anymore a rainy month, just like that. So Therefore, climate change can alter where species live, how they interact, and the timing of biological events which could fundamentally transform current ecosystem and the food webs. There might be the changes because of the climate change, and species will migrate, and some species may invade other species. Even though it is not their environment, they are forced to migrate to that environment because of the climate change, because in which they live, it was affected by climate change. It may be rather so the temperature is very high, or uh, they need a place where they can survive. Climate change can overwhelm the capacity of ecosystem to mitigate extreme events and disturbance such as wildfires, floods, and drought. For example, in this poster, as you can see, there's a drought here. It may be a river or ocean that is being drought because of too much heat or too much temperature, that the water being evaporated in the atmosphere. And wildfire may happen because of too much temperature. Floods may happen because of heavy rainfall and there's not enough trees to absorb the water from the mountains, and can cause a very big flood. We know that climate change is a global phenomenon of global issue that our world is facing right now. It is, for my opinion, I think it can't be prevented, but we can fight the climate change. As a students, we can take action by educating the non-environmentally informed friends about the perils of climate change and the basic habits they can change in their daily lives, such as eating less meat, to help make an impact. While it is difficult to write policy or change the minds of adults in power, informing the current and the next generation will help prepare society for how we can combat the most life-threatening issue any of us will have to face in the coming years. So, as a part of our community, as a human being, we should take part on fighting the climate change, like in a simple way. We will plant trees, we will uh, preserve our water, use wisely, and the energy we use, we must also prevent overusing it. If we don't use electricity, just plug out. Um, for example, cleaning garbage in the river, uh, avoid burning plastics, too much burning of plastics, because it can affect our environment and also it can cause climate change. And that's all, sir. God bless. Thank you.